Salutations everybody, it is Matty here today bringing you a Star Wars Battlefront news update. Now before anything, be sure to check out the link in the description of my previous video. That is a Fallout 4 discussion on if the vertibird may change Fallout in general. So be sure to check that out for your little Fallout fix. Anyways, I promised another Battlefront update this week, and this one comes from Battlefront Updates, a great YouTube channel. He's the only one I've seen post this, and he deserves all the credit for putting this information together because we have 10 modes that have been announced since E3 for Star Wars Battlefront, and I wanted to share them with you guys and kind of speculate a little on what some of these modes will be. Some of them we have seen before, some of them are quite obvious based off their name, but most of them we don't have information on, so we'll go ahead and discuss this together. So let's start off with the first one that was announced since the reveal of Battlefront, which was Walker Assault, in which you have to take down the AT-AT with your team. Very simple stuff. You got to bring down the shield using the uplinks, etc. It's a crazy mode. It looks awesome. We don't know really everything about it, but it's pretty self-explanatory. Then there's Fighter Squadron, which is exactly what it sounds like. It's essentially space battles above the land, if you want to call that. I know a lot of fans are going to get salty at that one because a lot of people just want space battles, but I think Fighter Squadron will be able to satiate that fix that you guys all need for this crazy air combat from Star Wars. But I wasn't a huge fan of space battles, but nonetheless, it's nice to see that there's going to be a dedicated mode for vehicles. Can't really wait to jump into that one. Now, like I said, some of these are hard to tell what they'll be because we have a bulk of modes, which are Cargo, Blast, Supremacy, and Drop Zone. And I'm not sure what each could really be. Supremacy sounds kind of like a King of the Hill mode. Cargo sounds kind of like a Capture the Flag mode of some form. And then Drop Zone's pretty simple. It's like, you know, something drops from the sky. You got to hold on to it. Maybe it's like a certain special piece of equipment or weapon that kind of changes the dynamic in the match. And as you hold on to it, you gain points. Maybe something like that. I'm not sure. In Blast, I couldn't even tell you. Maybe it's like Search and Destroy from Call of Duty. If there's one good thing that came out of Call of Duty, ladies and gentlemen, you gotta admit it. It's Search and Destroy, and I'm hoping this is kind of like one of those like permadeath, one life per round kind of modes. That would be so cool to see in Star Wars Battlefront. But what I really like that I see about these 4 modes, or just all the modes in general that you guys are going to see in this video, is that they all aren't from previous Battlefront games. And that's really good because as great as the previous Battlefront games are, I don't really want to just be lingering back in the past. I want to see a new vision with new modes and experience new Battlefront stuff, not just conquest and deathmatch and hunt and that's about it, you know, enjoy space battles. Yeah. This seems to be kind of expanding the vision of Battlefront and bringing in multiple ideas. Maybe Blast, actually, now that I think of it, could be kind of like, I forgot what the exact name of the mode is from Battlefield, but where you have the 2 bombs set up and you have to like blow them up and, you know, it's a respawn based game. I keep forgetting it because I'm not like a crazy Battlefield player, but I'm sure someone will correct me in the comments down below. Anyways, we also got the introduction of the new missions mode, which is kind of the single player substitute for, you know, instant action in the single player campaign, and it seems to be panning out well. As we saw during Sony's E3 press conference, we saw missions, the survival mode, which was obviously as you progress, more intense waves of enemies come at you that are more and more difficult with vehicles and whatnot. It's cool stuff. Then there was an interesting mode, or 2 rather, that were announced via Reddit from Matthew, who is the community manager at EA. He's an awesome guy, and he announced Battles and Hero Battles. And Battles sounds a lot like instant action to me, where you go head-to-head with, you know, AI companions, kind of like, well, normal Star Wars Battlefront. So that's really good to see. And obviously Hero Battles is kind of like, well, exactly what it sounds like. The same thing, except you're playing as heroes, which makes me so happy because the Hero Battles in Battlefront 2 were easily one of my favorite modes. When I discovered that as a kid, I was absolutely giddy. And it's so nice to see that this is going to be coming back again. And then the final mode that they revealed, which I feel is more of a tutorial mode than anything, and won't be anything more than that, is the missions tryouts mode. It sounds a lot like stuff from Call of Duty where you could like spawn in bots and just kind of practice and goof around and set any crazy ridiculous settings you want and just go ham and just try to, you know, get your aim warm and whatnot. So anyways, those are 10 announced modes for Star Wars Battlefront. Some of them we already knew, but most of them are pretty new and have some interesting names to them with some decent speculation behind them. I'd love to know what you guys are thinking, so let me know in the comments down below. I'm very curious on what you feel some of these modes are. Other than that, be sure to follow me on Twitter, like me on Facebook, stay sexy, stay active. I love you all. Peace.